Today we're going to talk about prudence. We're going through a series on vices and virtues. Prudence is listed as the first virtue of the believer. These are the things that we as humans should do. Now, Proverbs says that the simple believe everything, but the prudent consider their steps. Prudence thus could be categorized as the proper use of one's reasoning, of one's God-given logic and intellect in any given situation, when to act, when not to act. Proverbs 16:22 tells us that prudence is a fountain of life to the prudent, but folly brings punishment to fools. Aquinas, the Christian philosopher, calls prudence kind of a key to all the virtues, because without the proper reasoning to any given situation, really nothing can be right. So think of prudence like this. It's knowing when to say when and when to say no. It's not just being cautious. It's not just taking no risk, because you could too easily take risk, and you can also be cowardly, which is a vice, and never take risk. So for us as believers, to be prudent is to use our logic and our reason based off the Word of God, based off His revealed knowledge, and apply it to every given situation. So it's not to just say, hey, I don't want to get married because I could get divorced. Nor is it to say, I'm just going to marry the first Christian girl I meet because we're both Christians and it will work out. There's both the simplicity and naive, and there's both the overly cautious. Prudence is knowing who to marry and looking at the characteristics that we should look at, and also having our eyes open to the characteristics that should warn us to run. So what if you're just not a prudent person? What if you've made bad mistakes? You don't know who to marry, you don't know who to date, you don't know what car to buy, when to buy a stock. Well, 1, read the Word of God. 2, pray. 3, ask people that you trust for advice. And 4, actually listen to that advice, because oftentimes the simple or naive, or those who aren't prudent, trust in their own kind of hopes and dreams rather than in the reason and logic and wisdom and even criticisms of others that are often true. We have to obviously weigh all things by the Word of God, and this is never easy. But I think as we attempt to apply ourselves and apply the biblical principles, the biblical reasoning, the scriptures, the advice of other believers who are mature in the Lord, and make sure that's a key part of it, I think you too can grow in prudence, and I hope you do.